Local stories, information and events. This is KC News.
2016 RNC Site Selection Committee. It's also been a great joy to spend some time with and get to know the chairman of the Republican National Party, Reince Priebus. I am very pleased that they're sitting here in Kansas City right now and giving us an opportunity to let them see what we're all about. They're here to learn the ins and outs of Kansas City and to see how we plan to pull off the best possible convention for them in 2016. One of the things that I've talked to the Site Selection Committee last night about was the fact that this is a big deal for our city. Other than perhaps the Olympics, I can't think of any thing where we would invite people into our city that would have a greater impact or put us on a larger stage. Our buses have welcome signs on them. There are banners being hung. The digital signs on downtown businesses are all very positive. We had employees of Winstead's yesterday take skyscrapers and malts out to the bus as they did their tour. With some unintended consequences. Nonetheless, I think it went over well. It showed, I think it was just one of those personal touches that we were able to put on to show the unique personality and hospitality of Kansas City. This isn't just a big deal for Republicans. This is a big deal for our entire city, and one that we should all embrace.
For our technical team visit, and saw so many things that impressed us that we wanted to bring the rest of the committee back and give them an opportunity to see everything that Kansas City has to offer. You have a beautiful city. I'm from the West. People keep apologizing for the weather. I'd love to bring it home with me if I possibly could. We're in a drought, and so to see the way that you've used these beautiful rolling hills with your parkways and the water and just a beautiful community. And there's a real sense of tradition and community spirit here that we've been able to enjoy through your host committee. If I start mentioning names, I'll forget some, so I'm not going to start doing that, but I will say that we've been so impressed, not only by the technical abilities of the people that we've talked with as far as the physical requirements that we have, but the people who are leading the fundraising effort. It's very clear to us that this is an all-in effort by your community. And that means a lot to us. When we came in yesterday, I saw people who'd walked out of their storefronts and were waving at us as we went by. And I have to tell you, I went to the New York City convention, as I said earlier this morning, and it wasn't always waves. I mean, sometimes it was a different gesture. And so to see the welcome that we have gotten from the people of Kansas City has just been tremendous. And we appreciate it very much. We want to go someplace where we're wanted and where we can make some new friends. And so we haven't quite converted the mayor, but that's okay, because this is really a nonpartisan effort. Even though it is a political convention, it's an opportunity for you to be able to showcase your city.
And you've got a mayor here that has gone above and beyond the call of duty and throwing out the red carpet and a welcoming mat, and it started over a year ago. Yeah. And so very, very kind, and I thank the mayor for that.
Thank you, sir.
Very much appreciated. This host committee, Troy, the Dunn family, so many others, Jack Oliver, who's involved. These are folks, Linda and Kit Bond, obviously have put the party on their shoulders for many years. And I understand it's a host committee, it'll be a 501c3, and that's the way it works, but having people with the vision and the heart, not just for the party, but for the city of Kansas City, and the feeling that they have and the hunger to make this happen is special. You don't have to sell me on Kansas City. I'm a huge fan of Kansas City. For me, it's the West and the Midwest all bundled up into one nice gem. And I mean that. I spent a lot of time here in Kansas City. I was a unfortunate litigator for about 14 years before I became chairman. And I was involved in quite a bit of defense work in the oil and gas industry. And I just really love this place. And you've got a unique situation where you've got two great states in Kansas and Missouri coming together and doing everything they can to make it happen. Let me just tell you what this comes down to, though, for me. It comes down to, number one, the hotels, the arena, and the ability to raise the money. And then beyond that, obviously the delegate experience, which is obviously the city, the feeling, all those other intangibles. But what we're doing right now today, just this morning, is a lot of the technical work, talking about the money, talking about the hotels, and then visiting, obviously, the arena to make sure that it can work with the suites, with the entertainment space, the floor, the seating. I mean, it's a lot that goes into this, and choosing the right fit for the Republican National Committee. So lastly, just one more time, I just want to thank you all for the interest that you have in this process. It's a lot of work. People here in Kansas City are spending a lot of time and money in this review without a guarantee, and that's special too. It's a big outlay of time and resources, and we're very thankful and grateful.
So you're confident that a certain percentage has been raised already to give you the city?
Yeah, I feel good about where they're at.
Mr. Chairman, I can give a little more detail to that. What we told everyone today and what we're willing to talk about today is that we're at nearly $30 million in in-kind contributions as well as cash commitments. And we're very confident about where we're at, and that number is still continuing to rise. So we feel very good about where we're at, and thanks to the hard work of Peggy and Terry Dunn, they've done a phenomenal job along with the Finance Committee, and we feel very comfortable where we're at today.
Congressman, you were here a month ago. Are there any specific issues that you raised at that time that you've seen addressed or not seen addressed since you've been back?
Well, we were here a month ago really to do kind of a technical visit, and Reince referred to it. We wouldn't be here if we didn't feel like certain technical requirements hadn't been met. So we feel very comfortable that there are ways to make it work here. Now, there are always specifics in a convention that are unforeseen. I mean, the biggest one being when the Secret Service comes in and says, well, you might have liked it this way, but this is how we're going to do it. So you can be talking about transportation plans, for example, but all of that hinges on what the Secret Service comes in and decides to do. So we certainly have been talking about options. The only way that you can go about this is sort of make your best guess, make those plans, and then keep adjusting it as you go along. So I think the committee's done a wonderful job. I'll just add on, in some years past, the committees came in, and the host committees came in, and the RNC sort of accepted what we now laughingly refer to as a trust me, I'm rich finance strategy, and we decided that was not the way to do this anymore. And so as we have gone out to these host committees and said, yeah, we know what you've done in the past, but we're asking you to really step that up and give us the opportunity to see some much more concrete numbers and plans as to how you get there. And Kansas City and the other 3 cities that we're visiting have certainly not just met that expectation, they've exceeded it.
Local stories, information and events. This is KC News.